Hello, everybody. Surprise! Well, just in case if you don't know, Jess was sick yesterday. So, here I am. Can somebody let me know in the chat if you can hear me? Because I don't have anybody to test this all. Can I hear myself? Okay, thank you, Wizard. So, anyways, I might have some company coming to help me. I might not. So, this just could be a train wreck, or we might struggle through it, or whatever. But here it is, anyways. So, I'm going to do my best and hopefully not just mess it up way too bad that she can't recover from it. But, anyways, I'll start with the good mornings that I can see, and I may have missed somebody. But we saw Miss Lori first thing. Master Aquatics just called me Eduardo. And Eduardo has a question. Interesting. This weird question entered my thoughts. That's probably scary. If you scream into empty space, will it be heard? Bizarre question from a classroom filled with 28 people and not a single one listening. Oh yeah, just act up. That's how I do it around here. And Yellowstone Aquatics, good morning to you. And Dennis, Bigfoot Fish Tanks, good morning. It's good to see you coming back in. Glad you got things worked out with your new move. Well, Eduardo, thank you for asking, but I am alive and not sick, so I guess I have been blessed. Thank you. Hope you are too. And good morning, just in case. How are you this morning? And I was really wondering, we were wondering about the name, but you didn't respond. Just in case. Is that from a song maybe? From the early 2000s? Don't make it home tonight. Let's pop off. It's Sharpie. Good morning, Sharpie. Uh-oh. It's fish nerves is what you're smelling, Sharpie. Oh, and I love the new video. That YouTube doesn't recognize your voice, so they don't copyright claim you for singing the songs. That's a good one. Maybe that's what we need to do, just really mess it up. That's a good idea. And yes, Mr. Eduardo, He says, thus your name provides us with an eternal link to your personal life drives. Mr. Just in case. But see, he's always ready. That's the way I take it. Ready to go. Well, Jess isn't here, Sharpie, so I'm pressing all the buttons. So hang on. We might take off. And I don't know how to land the plane. Just in case it's from the south side of Chicago. So not being ready is not an option. I figure. Yeah, you gotta be ready all the time. And Miss Jennifer Weaver, good morning to you. And Eduardo says he knows exactly what Justin means. This is pretty cool. And good morning, Geek Boy. How are you? And Miss Laura, you had sent me a Facebook message, but as I said this to you the day before, I'm not very good at checking Facebook. So, sorry. But I do need to tell Jess to give you my phone number so that way you can contact me on a stream or something. And good morning, Mystery Snail Guardians. I'm sure you snailed it, but I can't go back that far. And I do have a little project I want to run by you sometime. Blizzard Aquatics. He's getting sick too. And yes, everybody's getting sick. I hate that. We're going to finish up, maybe hard work behind just so take a break and recoup a little bit. Yes, I have taken over for the day. She's got to hurry up and come back, that's all I can say. Her and go. And Dr. Freeze, oh, you have changed your name, or is that just your other account? Oh, that's the Facebook side. Okay. This is the first time I've seen this. And Greg's Planting Tanks, welcome. Glad to see you in here this morning. Melvin. Hi, Melvin. And I don't know if any of y'all, I know some of you stream, but I've never streamed by myself, and you feel the silliest talking, and nobody can hear you, because at least when somebody else is on the panel, you know they can hear you. And this is just really weird for me. I never wanted to be a performer. I was always a background person. And good morning, Sunny, Rising Sun Aquatics. And everybody that's in here is doing okay. And there's lots of people that are getting over the rough stuff, and they're slowly coming back around. But it's a hard hit. We didn't have a Rona come through here, but we had that sinus thing that came through that lasted a day or two. It just made you not feel good. Luckily, that's all I've had to experience. And I hate stupid people. Stephanie, how are you this morning? Skipper's telling me he's on his way. But the cowboy riding in on the horse is going to come and save this show. And Michael, new local Austin. How are you this morning? And now I'm seeing the Freeze Aquariums on the YouTube side, and Nola's Dolls and Aquatics. And Miss Nola, we've been checking out some of your videos because my daughter watches that kind of video all the time. I have to make her turn off YouTube. Just in case. You know, I was digging in my jewelry box looking for some earrings. I was like, oh, I haven't worn that in 100 years. Oh, I haven't worn that since '99. Oh. So, you know, you can't make up your mind, so just wear them all. You don't have to choose. And MC Aquatics, good morning. I hope you're doing okay. And by the way, MC, did all your back surgeries work out? And good morning, Degenerate Fish Keeper. How are you this morning? Not that fast, it is. Let's see. Bear with me. Well, Stephanie says she's doing great. Took the day off for bad weather and then take her mom to the doctor today. Okay, you got to catch up on the tape news. Well, be safe out there. We're supposed to have the worst part of our storm today, this afternoon. So I already got up and fixes a big old pot of rice and turkey. So we'll have something if the power goes out. Because around here, two snowflakes and they shut everything down. Um, for Hurricane Florence, our power went out the day before the hurricane even came, and they didn't bother to come and even fix it. And of course, everybody else went out the next Saturday, the day after, and we were the very last grid that was flipped on. So we were 8 days with no power. One day was not necessary by any means. Just people on that side of me and people across the street had power, but the ones on this down the way here, all of us did. And it was so frustrating seeing their lights on and all that. It was like 150 degrees in the house. Good morning, Skipper.
Well, I was having issues again.
Well, what would it be without issues?
I know, right?
What challenges, it's not any fun.
Good morning, everybody.
Good to see your back surgery's been good. Didn't see. So, anything exciting happen in your neck of the woods?
Oh my. Oh.
I know you had to go out and do
Boy,
some working in the middle of the night the other night.
Yesterday was interesting. So, we had a couple things going on. Our water main broke yesterday in town. Me being a part of Borough Council, I stayed there to help out. Pretty much crowd control if somebody showed up and had a bunch of questions. So that took about 4 hours. And then the telephone company, which is, I think it's Verizon, yeah, they wanted to replace a pole. Why do you want to replace a pole? It's freaking January. Because kind of like our electric company, they were going to shut it down. So we had a phone call with them yesterday up there, and it's a good thing I was off work. They postponed it, so we won't be having no power outage. And man, I'm telling you, I was worried too because of my fish. It being 20-some degrees out, your house would get cold really quick.
Yes, it does.
It would have sucked. But luckily, we was able to get that done. We have like 3 places that have it's called assisted living. They don't have backup generators, and there's quite a few of those that are on oxygen, and that wouldn't have been no fun.
I'm surprised they don't have a backup generator for themselves.
I know. You'd think that they would.
As you say, a lot of people in there probably do have some sort of oxygen machine.
Yeah. I've been in that place helping the EMPs out. Yeah. Oh my. And it's a brick building too. So as soon as it starts getting cold, it's scary.
And most of them are there with minimal stuff from their lives. So you're not going to have 15 blankets. You're not going to have extra clothes, and they may not even be aware they need to do that. So
I was actually going to do a bunch of water changes yesterday, and I was like, I woke up. I was going to go to the chiropractor, which I'm doing that here this afternoon, and I was like, I got no water. Then they canceled school, and But yeah, I was going to do a bunch of water changes. I said, no, I better wait a couple days now because whenever we bust open a main like that or any water line, you get debris in there.
Yeah.
It's good to let it flush out for a day or two. Even though we did flush the lines with a fire hydrant, but still, before you do that, you turn the water back when you get all these toilets filling back up. So
No,
it's
I
like,
did not realize that that's what they were doing was flushing those lines when they do that. It's like, why are they wasting all that water? I didn't realize that.
every, I think it's like twice a year you want to do it,
Yeah.
just because, I mean, even though it's going through a water treatment plant, you still get built up of stuff in lines, and it's good to flush it out.
Oh yeah. Plus, like mine, I used to have like an 8.4 pH out of the tap, and now it's changed
Mhm.
for the better for me. So I'm
Yeah,
not dealing with such a high pH unless it's changed,
right. Yeah,
change all the time. But because I'm on this, it's not town water, but it's county water, same thing. And
yeah,
so you don't know what you're going to get. That's why I treat for the chloramines, everything. It's like, I don't know what's in it. They're not going to tell you. And by the time you get the report, it could be too late. So,
well, the unfortunate part is being on town water. You have uh, they add chemicals into the water.
mhm. Yeah,
And depending
they have to.
on the time of year, where the water is coming from, depends on the type of chemical that they use uh, to treat the water. And unfortunately, that's when you get uh, the chloramines and the chlorine.
Mhm. I used to live in my old house. It was very close to one of the water treatment plants for the city I lived in. And all that stuff, all the waterway around it was bad. It was like greenish, brownish. Like, good Lord, you wouldn't want to fall in it. And they had this giant pipe that went across it in a spot, but right next to it, they had one of those walkways or those walk paths.
Uh-huh.
What would happen if you fell through that thing if they didn't keep the wood, nasty? And people fish in that all the time and take them home and eat them.
Yeah.
Now, when I was, and I'm sure they still do it, but where I grew up, we were on a river, and if you go around, other jets of land and stuff, they had this one place that was very close to a sewage overspill thingy, which
Yeah.
I think they deliberately let it out there so they don't have to deal with the backup.
Uh-huh.
But we could go. They had a 3-day season back then that you could go and collect oysters.
Oh,
And
okay.
let me tell you, I mean, you could oyster all day long and just keep pulling them in the boat till your boat went almost under the water. But and then you could transfer them, and we had a garden that we leased from the marine fisheries, and we could put them out there, and they had to stay out there for 30 days and flush where
Yeah.
we were, and then you could sell them. But how many people took them straight home, put them on a truck somewhere, and took them out to sell?
Oh, yeah, they didn't flush them. And that's another thing. Mussels is the same way. When you get mussels, you want to do that too. She's not feeling good today. Uh, she should be back tomorrow.
She wasn't feeling good in November stream yesterday, and we called it short. Her whole house has been sick.
And it's not the human malware. Uh, so yesterday, one of the hardest things to find, and it drives me nuts, is to find news for the to read about news on fish. Well, luckily there is people out there that do newsletters, and later on here we'll do the Alex report. But it's like you would think there'd be more out there, but there isn't. I did find something though. Go ahead.
Well, I went and found something too because I didn't know at the time if you were coming or what. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I got homework to do. So I was up till 1 o'clock last night or 2, something like that.
Yeah.
But, but once you start delving into it, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you would think there would be more. One of the things I came across, is it showing? I hate this.
Yes.
I need another computer screen. Is fish fertilize corals and seagrass, but not the way you think. Pretty much fish are like underwater gardens, fertilizing coral reefs, keep kelp forests and seagrasses where they reside. Their
Can you repeat all
fertilizer,
that?
huh?
Say, can you repeat all that? I just got here.
Well, that's your own fault. But anyways, they fertilize it with their own pee. Everybody thinks it's actually poop. No, it's their urine that they're fertilizing these coral reefs and the plants and stuff. I saw that and I was like, okay, here, and I thought it was their poop.
Well, that's what I always thought too.
I guess it would eventually be their poop as it breaks down into basically what the pee would be, which is ammonia, right?
Yeah. But I guess the pee is quicker. Obviously, It doesn't have to break down.
Right.
But I was like, man, every time I typed in at tropical, I would do like tropical fish news or whatever, and it keeps still bringing up that stinking 100-pound fish.
Yes.
Up there in Oregon. It's like, come on.
And the fact that I saved it in a folder, it's like it pops it up every time for me. Well, good morning, Stephen, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Awesome. I guess Jess could make it this morning. She's not feeling well.
Yeah, she's not feeling well.
Yesterday, Landon was wrapped up in a quilt, coming in there laying on the floor by her little space heater she had.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
My,
you have kids want to be near their mama when they don't feel good too.
Yeah.
My daughter yesterday, I was like, oh man, here we go again. Because we got one of them letters from school stating that they were around certain individuals that had certain thing. There was like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
The human ick.
That's happening at every single school.
Well,
like, my
you know
wife,
what they did? They said just keep an eye on her. If they start having symptoms, then you keep her home, test, whatnot. I said, well, that don't make no damn sense.
Well,
also to what
better
to do.
this morning.
I think the nurse at Jenna's school told one student that like coughing is a low risk way to spread it. So yeah, it'll be all right. I'm paraphrasing
how
now.
do you spread it now if coughing doesn't do it? You got to rub on each other, actually. Nobody wants us to believe.
I just think it's just going around. Like at this point, it's like if you're not vaccinated, or even if you are, it's like everyone's gonna get it, and just
it's hard to avoid it.
Being vaccinated, makes it less of a problem for you. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Hopefully, yes, that's right. Hopefully,
Well,
until you experience it, you don't know.
On a side note from that, did you guys ever have a day at your school that you could go sled riding?
No,
I didn't.
not in Louisiana.
Well, yes.
I never sled riding here.
Okay, mud riding then, I guess.
We had a hayride.
They get to go sled riding. I was like, what?
Wow.
Now, after hurricanes, you can go boating in your road sometime.
Yeah.
And fight the snakes.
Especially once the swamp starts filling up.
Yeah. Let me speak to the people that come in to chat real quick. We have Cold Blooded Monster. Good morning. Seen a few come in. Here earlier. I tried to speak to him in the chat typing. So, guys, when you see Jess at Main's Tail, that's me. I'm under her housework. And Brooklyn Bell, good morning. One of our newest fish fam members, whether she likes it or not. And Timbo, taking it easy. Good morning. Yeah.
Brooklyn lives about 20 minutes away in a town that I lived in for several years back in the day.
And there's Patrick. Good morning, Dragon Lair. How was Skipper so chipper this morning?
Skipper Shipper.
Yeah, how is Skipper so chipper this morning? You were up late too last night. Watching the other Jess have a great time on Skipper.
Oh, my, he was something. Yeah, we didn't get done till like 1.
I watched it.
I fell asleep in the middle of it.
She was doing. I couldn't figure out what she was trying to do.
I jumped in the middle of that, and I wasn't sure what was going on, so I just listened. And
yeah,
you probably made the correct assumption.
We had Haley Oddball up there. She came up.
She popped in for a few minutes.
And then Bird Garden Man came up there. He says he's gonna try to stop in this morning, but he's probably still sleeping.
Okay.
I would be.
Yeah, it was. I was doing my homework, for the day, and I was listening to it. And of course, Pam's like, "Oh, we're going to be shutting it down." I was like, "They weren't even paying attention, Pam. She was just there for the ride." But it was funny, and it was very entertaining. And then every once in a while, Jess would just come in, and I don't know. I don't know if she was trying to fight somebody on the screen or what. I've never seen her like that. She's always just painting and quiet, But she was funny. Good morning, Merrick Tomczyk.
morning, Beck.
Jess is sick today, so this is what you get. And good morning, Vanoski Fishkoto. How are you this morning? But and good morning, Bex. How are you? Y'all did have some interesting topics last night about the birds and all that.
Update on Rocco. His house has COVID.
Yes, I did hear that. So all of them were.
He said, I'm pretty sure his last text to me said we all have it. So.
Well, I can't imagine how one person in the house can't have it and everybody else.
No, yeah, like I figured if me or Jenna gets it, then all of us are gonna get it.
Now, last year, Butterfly's virtual teacher, she got it. She was a military wife, and he was away, so she was home by herself. And that girl was sick. I mean, sick. But she taught every day on virtual school. But her mom and grandma came down to. I guess the grandma lives with the mom. So they came down and stayed for about a month and a half and cooked food for it. It's almost like, you shove it under the door type thing. Because she was basically in her room for 30 days. Because she didn't want to expose them. But she managed it. I mean, the some days you could see her. She could barely hold her head up. And she popped in there every single day. And that's a testament to her will to get her students where they needed to be. Bex has more fry. What kind of fry do you have, Bex?
She's having pygmy cories just randomly appear out of nowhere in her tank. I'm jealous. I want my pygmy cories to breed, but I feed so conservatively in there. And, there's also a betta. So, what are the odds a betta's going to let any of those fry live?
My bettas are too lazy to chase anything. I believe you can put them in with shrimp.
Well,
they don't chase nothing. They only chase the bloodworm. You have to almost put it down their throat.
Oh yeah, this alien betta is pretty chill. He is fine with the growing cherry shrimp colony in there. I've got lamp-eye killifish. I've got hybrosis and pygmy cories all in a 16-gallon. And then I've got 2 other bettas that I got from Aquashella that just want to kill everything. Like I've tried to put shrimp in there, and they're just like, "Thanks for the food."
Yeah, and that's what you say is true, Eduardo. It's very exciting when you look up and it's like, what is that? And it's like, like I had little plecos. I didn't even know I had males and females. I didn't know what I had. Just never thought to look. They were in a community tank, and I didn't have caves for them in there or nothing. But then there was a little teeny pleco stuck to the glass, and it's like, what? And it took me a second to realize what it even was, because I've never seen one that
Yeah.
little. I managed to save a dozen of them, maybe. Put them in a fish tank with the 2 lazy female bettas. And they have lots of cover in that tank. Nothing is going to hunt them down because their cars were hanging right up over the piece of wood where the pleco daddy was. And I'm in it, the minute one of them would pop out, boy, they were on it.
Did you manage to raise up those plecos, or?
Well, they're in a tank. This just happened less than 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
And now they've got more babies in that same piece of wood, and I put a cave down for them so I could like lift the cave up and take them all out. But they didn't use the cave. They went back under that piece of wood, and you can't get to it. If I lift it up, everything's exposed. So.
Yeah, my first go with the pleco fry, I was a newbie and I wasn't really ready for them because, like, I saw them on the glass one day. The tank was still kind of new. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'll put an extra couple of algae wafers in there for them. And they need way more than that. They need a pretty seasoned, malmy tank and lots of food.
Yeah, so they should do good in the betta tank because that's the one with the snails and it has extra stuff. And I don't disturb the bottom that much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they didn't stand a chance in that 55. If they made it past their cars, I have about eight platies. They probably would have gotten through.
Yeah.
But, you know, I didn't want to raise them. And since I have found out I had a set, I've just realized, and probably everybody else in this chat knows, about the whiskers. How to tell the difference on the bristle nose. Duh. I've got 2 females in there and 1 male. Now I know. So I guess I got to catch somebody, probably daddy, take him out.
Yeah, I mean, the male will literally starve to death trying to take care of eggs, especially with 2 females in there. He'll be going back and forth.
Yeah, and that's what he's done. In fact, I thought I could have a few days, but like I've got a video out where it shows the cars had some eggs on the slab, and then just as soon as those little plecos came out, I thought, I might have a little time. But Daddy went right back in that hole. Of course, the cars don't like it because they've got eggs. Now they're actually swimming, but they were tearing those plecos up like, and that little hole was so tight where the pleco is. It's hard for them both to get into that hole. And you can see the mama's belly like full.
Yeah.
And she kept trying to go in it, and that pleco, the cars would run her off. So I've got a video. It was kind of cool to watch. My plecos just want to have fun or something.
Yeah.
The car would not let them in. No. And now they eventually got in there. I just couldn't catch it. But and Miss Lori has posted the short for today. So for anybody who may not know, you need to click on that link, go in and check out that video, like whatever, and also type "I love watching the Aquatic Wonder Show." And that puts you in an entry. Every time you do that for each day's video, you get an entry for the weekly fish race or snail race, whatever Jess has.
Yeah.
And then all the winners from the weekly go into a monthly pool. And then the 4 or 5 of you get to compete for the month-end prize, which our month-end sponsor is at the bottom of your screen in front of you. It'll be Stevens Aquatics. And you said you were including a $50 gift certificate from Dan's Fish.
Dan's Fish, yep.
plus the items that Jess adds to it. So
Yeah, was it
shirt,
like a shirt and a mug or something like that?
yeah. So it's a nice prize.
Indeed.
Good morning, Paul Soltero. So go ahead, Steve.
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Oh,
something.
I just said indeed. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep.
And hola, Daniel Velez. Good to see you in here this morning. Hope everybody's doing okay. Jess is out sick. So, you're stuck with us. That's how it's going to be. And I guess I miss Brandon. Misfit Reptiles. Is he in here? I'm not
Yeah.
good at reading
Yeah, there
chat
he
and
is.
talking.
He said
Good
I was
morning,
wired too. I was up till 4:30 a.m. He had a late night stream that I just
saw
couldn't, I
that.
couldn't make it to.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had to just
yeah.
shut down because it's like I'll spend all night because you get started in one. So I just said, you know what? When Pam's went off, I said I got to go because I'm a night owl and I don't want to stop at night, but having to get up. There's a difference in coming in and just crashing on the couch and watching the morning show than to have to get things done before it starts. Like I've already cooked a pot of rice and turkey just in case the power goes out. I had to get it done early. And good morning, John, my fish tank aquatics. And good morning, GRB.
Are you guys getting more weather?
Yes, we're supposed to have the ice. At first they said ice. And it's supposed to come in this afternoon. Yesterday we were running around without a jacket on.
Yeah, I know. It was nice yesterday.
We had 2 days of good weather, and now we're back to cold.
And they said this afternoon the hard stuff should start coming in. So I made him get the generators out and checking them and all this kind of stuff just in case, power goes out. Because I got to keep these tanks a little warm anyways.
I think this summer that's going to be one of my must-do things is get a generator and have a panel to where I can just plug it into and move stuff over.
Well, we have a small portable where you can carry it, one-person generator, still heavy, but you can't lift it. And then we have one that takes two people. Well, it has wheels, but if you were to pick it up off the ground, it would take two of you. Yeah. And we did get a panel put in. So all we got to do is plug it in. And then the last hurricane we had, that would fire up. And I was mad because I told you to check it out the day before when we knew the hurricane was coming. And we didn't, and it wouldn't start that day. So we had to sit here without power. So at that time, I think I had 2 10-gallon fish tanks. Yeah. But and they're mostly better, so I was okay. But when it opened back up, the stores, I went and got another generator. It was still in the box, but it's the backup to the backup.
You still want to get that thing out and make sure it runs too.
Yeah, of course he has not done that, but at least he got the other 2 out yesterday, and they fired right up and all that good stuff.
You'll be all right.
Good morning, Texas Fish Room. So I do have 2 that work right now. But you always need to have something for this weather.
And that's like up here. Okay, back. Like up here, one of our issues is snow blowers. So you got to make sure that stuff's good to go whenever winter starts, because if not, you're going to be shoveling.
Well, my Pennsylvania cousin, she's spending a month down here. And she got news yesterday that 2 of her friends' neighbors died from heart attacks shoveling snow.
Yeah.
Now, one of them was 70-ish.
Yeah.
And she says the problem is a lot of people go out there and just try to hurry up, knock it out instead of taking their time.
Yeah, my neighbor's like that, and I got up too late that day, and he already had most of his done because he had cancer, and he's still recovering from it, from the crazy treatment he had to have. And I have to kind of yell at him and tell him to slow down. And you get to a certain point in your life to where you don't want to ask people for help
Right.
because you're used to doing everything yourself.
Well, and when you have to ask, you feel like you've lost the
Mhm.
capability, which you probably have, but you don't want to admit it. You
Yeah.
know? Jennifer Weaver says one of the YouTube weathermen said it's supposed to snow in Mexico. Well, you just never know. It just might.
Hello, Al Wet Socks.
Well,
Ow.
tonight
Al Wet
we got
Socks.
or tonight or tomorrow we have a hard freeze. Like it's going to get into the 20s, which is pretty low for this area.
Yep. You're not used to it.
Which reminds me, I need to figure out what's going on with the blower in my attic. I have to like switch the breaker on the AC off and on, and then the blower turns on, and then after a few minutes it turns off again. I think there's some kind of like relay thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew HVAC better because that's a racket.
It's a good business to know.
Oh yeah.
Because you are, especially like in areas like we're in, because hurricanes take out so many of those systems from the water rising.
Hmm.
So you have to replace them a lot. And good morning to Cooley for schooling. They said they used their Christmas money to get an APC backup battery.
Nice.
It will last through the worst of the blackouts. What is APC? I'm not aware.
It's I have one actually. I got mine real cheap. It's what it is. It's a battery pack about that long, that high, and you keep it plugged into your wall. When your power shuts off, it turns on and it runs whatever's hooked up to it for a certain amount of time.
Boy, that's cool. Sort of like those thousands of dollars, those Generacs or something, just in
Yeah.
a smaller version. That's cool.
There's many different versions you can get, and one of them, matter of fact, KG Tropicals did a video on one of those battery backups.
I did see that.
And then I was watching. It's an outdoor thing. They were ice fishing, and they had kind of a generator. It's actually solar powered.
Connections.
Yeah.
It's nice having one in the family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Timo has a question. Maybe one of y'all.
Yeah, not a clue. I'll be right back.
I was thinking about that, and I used to know that, but I don't remember it anymore. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but the way I see it, if it tells you the lowest rating, I go the step above.
I want to say, this is just me trying to remember what was on my box. I want to say it was a 550 watt generator for the big heavy one. But I don't know, but the way it's wired in, it only runs like the refrigerator, freezer, the main plug in the living room that we would like charge cell phones or whatever to, and maybe something else, and some, it just handles a few things. And at the time, I did not have this fish room, so that's not on that one. I would have to actually run a extension cord, but I should get that changed when I get my electrical ran the way I want to, if it's a problem. But what we did when we only had a small hand pack, we brought it, fired it up, we'd run the refrigerator for a while, turn it off, then we might hook up the hot plate to it for a while, turn it off, then we might run a fan or something, but it was like 150 degrees. And that's what we did, but I don't, unless you buy one of those big ones, I don't think it can run your entire house.
No, the least, if you're trying to run your whole house, like the one that they say it's rated for a mobile home is good for it's 7,500 watt. But if it was me, I would go with the 15,000 watt because of, especially if you have fish tanks and stuff like that. We're not normal like other people. Okay, we have a lot of fish tanks, so you're going to be drawing more power than what
Yeah.
normal people would. So I would at least go up to a 15,000 watt.
Yeah, and I don't remember what my box said. I bought that during Hurricane Irene on the first one, the one that we actually have used several times. So I'm just bad at remembering that kind of stuff. John, my fish tank's aquatic, says he has a low of 2 degrees this morning with a current level of 6. That suck. we don't have the clothes for it. Yeah, you can get by for a day or two, and then after that, you don't have a lot of that stuff here.
I have a jacket. No gloves, no shirt.
Now, the only reason I have thermals and stuff is when I was a correctional officer, and especially when I worked nights, you had 2 hours outside, rotating. And when it's 19 degrees and you have to stay outside while everybody else is on the inside, and you're locked out in the buildings because they lock them, they double lock them at night. So you have nowhere to go unless you stand up against a building to get out of wind block. So I really got, it was like $100 for these thermals, if I remember, for like ski thermals. They weren't your normal long john types of thermals. And they were thin, but yet they did a fairly decent job, even though it was still cold. And the boots, you can only put so many layers of socks on your boots. And then if it's snowing, you're they get wet in leather boots. So, they take very good care of the employees like that.
Rico's prepared.
Yeah, I ain't repeating that on this.
Yeah.
Tanked Aquatic said they found 2 new species of fish in China. That's the names. I am not going to repeat that because I cannot.
Ooh, I want to try Tannicthus albiventris and Tannicthus flavianalis. Kinda.
But see, there's nobody here to contradict you.
So I sound smart, right?
Yeah. As far as I know, it's perfectly.
Yeah, obviously the Tannicthus flavianalis and whatever the other one I said.
And Deep Boy says the solar powered generator term annoys the heck out of him because it's a battery. There's nothing. There is not a dang thing generating anything in those devices.
And here they are. So it's a different.
Is that like carp type?
That's a white cloud minnow.
Oh.
So they found 2 new species of it. It's not really. Yeah, the first one is the normal one, and then the new species is the second and third. There's a slight difference to them.
They're pretty fish.
Yeah, it says about how the eyes are different.
Oh, okay.
What was it? It said they recently found a 12-foot long dolphins. Hey, good morning, John Larson.
I didn't see that.
I like that idea. If you need 10 gallons, buy you a 15. I always like to get a little bigger. And yes, Rico, that would have been a great idea for the guys on the yard. I'm surprised they don't have such a thing. And maybe they did. Maybe their mamas crocheted them some little protectors. Blankies.
Danny's driving and lurking this morning.
I bet he's liking his new job.
Yeah.
I never did see Danny. I missed it.
Yeah, the chat jumped after he came in.
But button, said I'm not meaning to hit too far. Let me see if I can pull up my news. Let's see. I did some Google Docs, and I've never done Google Docs before. So
No.
hopefully this will work. How about that? Did I do it?
No.
Don't see any fish.
No, it didn't share on the screen yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There it is.
Okay. I was reading and I found something from the University of Texas at Austin, and they're still talking about more of these invasive species. And they're saying that lots of times fish end up, in the wild, because we've heard all this before. But they say sometimes the owners just decide they can't care for them anymore, and they don't want to get rid of them by, other ways, so they just dump them in the waterways. And a lot of them don't establish, but some do, and then they can become invasive. And like they said, for example, fish will dump this for food as bait. Never thought about that, or even as ritualistic ceremony. That could be going on too. And the bluefin killifish, which is this first one, these are popular aquarium fish native to Florida, most likely transported to Texas waterways via the aquatic nursery plants. This is the one that we put in our ponds or aquariums. Now they can be found in areas near Houston, Powderhorn Lake, and Anderson County. Little is known how it may affect the native ecosystem, but it seems to be spread rapidly and needs more study.
Mm.
And these fish are pretty, but a bearable flatfish is next. And these are native to northern Mexico, but because of their small size and beautiful coloring, they are also kept as freshwater aquarium pets. And they collected them in Waller Creek, Austin. And
Yeah, I feel like the Variatus platy is like everywhere. It's kind of like the mosquito fish.
they said that they could be a vector for introduction of the pathogen. Now, this is going to be a word. Mycobacterium mirium.
Uh-huh.
Don't know what it means.
Oh.
That's what they were saying. This is our flagfish.
Yeah.
Pretty fish too. He said this species, endemic to Florida, is an increasingly popular aquarium species. It is recently detected and invaded in Texas. It gets its name from the unique pattern of the male. It is still rare in Texas and only known from tributaries of Port Bay. Little was known about how it may affect the native ecosystem.
Great algae eater right here.
Yes, that's what I heard. And next we have the armored catfishes.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere too.
Often called plecos or algae eaters in the aquarium trade, this group is now widely distributed across the state. They start small, and unknown aquarists soon find out that they outgrow, like most of their tanks. They have a habit of burrowing into the banks where they lay their eggs, thus facilitating bank erosion.
You think they get big in your aquarium? Wait until you put them in a body of water.
And Father Fish says he thinks that they should start catching them to eat. Which,
If they taste good,
I don't know why
sure.
you wouldn't.
Yeah.
And the goldfish, look at the size of the goldfish outside.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the most iconic of pet fish, as many of us have had at one point in our lives. And as innocent as they appear, when released into the wild, they have the potential to produce large populations and transmit several parasites and bacteria to native species. They also increase in size after a few generations and thus require more resources than native populations would otherwise use. That's a big fish.
Eating machines.
Our lionfish. And the lionfish is another beautiful example with their showy pectoral fins and bands in red, white, black, and off-white. They're popular with aquarists. Native to coral reefs in the tropical waters of the South Pacific and Indian Oceans, outside of this range, they pose serious threats to other coral reef ecosystems in the Atlantic Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean. They are now numerous in the Flower Garden Reef of Texas. They are voracious predators, and not much in their non-native range keeps their numbers in check, as they eat fish that otherwise would keep coral algae reef under control. Algae growth has become unchecked and harmed the health of coral reefs. They also decimate local fish populations, which negatively impacts local subsistence anglers as well as the commercial recreation fisheries.
Dang.
Fish today.
Wasn't there a proposal to like sell them as food commercially? I feel like someone was trying to like make the lionfish a thing for restaurants.
I do think we heard that before too. But it's a pretty fish. Right?
Yep. Looks very stingy.
Yeah, don't stick your hand in there, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
My last fish of the day is the Rio Grande cichlid.
Mm.
In Louisiana, I guess they've migrated from Texas to Louisiana. That they pose such a threat that it's illegal to own one. If you happen to catch one, you're required to kill it. And there are even private groups that run fishing contests to catch them. And raising even more concerns, a second closely related species has been discovered in Louisiana, the lowland cichlid, by biologists at Case Western Reserve University and biodiversity collections. So the solutions. What can you do about these problems, they ask. Lionfish, for one example, a particularly difficult fish species. Okay. I had an interruption. I don't remember where I was. And like for each of us individually, the most direct solution is not to release non-native fish into the natural waterways or flush them down the toilet. Rehoming is the process to find a catfish a new place to live in an artificial environment. And a great place to start. And they list several of the websites where you can contact people. Of course, we know people, we have several rescues in the fish tank. And sometimes schools will take these fish as educational resources for the classrooms. And sometimes even a local, main type aquarium. So that was my homework assignment for today. Let's see what I can do.
Well, speaking of fish rescues, have y'all talked about Mike Florida Fish
No.
Rescue this morning?
Not yet.
No, I haven't. I even wore the shirt so I wouldn't forget. I did.
Okay.
Fortunately, yeah, that's not good. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it was just devastating news for him. I mean, as y'all all know, he and his family lost their home and they had to move several hundred miles away. And they're living in a fifth wheel. They got a piece of property, moving all the fish and stuff over. Well, I mean, the move couldn't have happened at a worse time with winter and hard freezes. And unfortunately, that happened the other night. And Mike lost basically everything except for his cold water fish. He's got his koi and I guess he's got goldfish, but his cichlids, his Oscars, his catfish, including Big Puppy, which, man,
Yeah.
I knew that he was attached to that one because when he said if they name a fish, it's never leaving the rescue. It's theirs. So
Yeah.
Right.
That,
I did not know that part. I
Yeah.
wasn't even aware of that.
yeah. And
yeah.
he did a video and it was very emotional. Like,
Well, you can tell. He's reeling from it. He said he was been in tears the last 2 days, and I'm sure he barely held it together just to make that video.
Well, he's already put his blood and guts into getting them moved.
Right.
And it's not a good situation to have to leave them outside, and then weather out of nowhere that you don't think it's going to happen like that. So, you slam, 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 and then a final slam.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking. We are at the top of the hour.
So, Miss Lori, if you can post their PayPal link, so if anybody has any extra cash to help, because they're still trying to build and do and
Gas
anything
money.
to
Yeah.
help them,
Yeah, he's not giving up. I mean, more power to him. He's going to rebuild.
Yeah.
He's still committed to it.
He said he definitely said he's going to start over or continue. But technically, all the fish that he lost, he's pretty much starting over.
Yeah, he's got the one pool of koi and such, and then he posted a pretty cool video after that of the cold water fish all schooling together in the big pool that he's got set up.
Yeah.
So the shirt that goes with the song that Stephen made was I helped them Florida Fish Rescue.
So we're gonna show that song, and first we're gonna talk of one of the sponsors, the social media lady.
Hi, Fish Fam! Are you struggling to gain new subs or followers? Would professional graphics, captions, and ads help you to sell more products? Perhaps you need a marketing strategy that works for your business that is also cost effective. You're not alone. Millions of businesses across the world struggle with this problem. Good marketing plans, poorly executed, cost businesses billions in lost revenue each year. What is the solution? The Social Media Lady, a digital marketing agency. This team of seasoned marketing professionals works with your small business to plan and deliver a solid blueprint to drive more traffic to your website, YouTube channel, and social media. You can check out our work right here at the Aquatic Morning Show, as we currently provide their social media marketing as well as a majority of their graphic design services. When you decide you're ready to level up, schedule your free consultation at thesocialmedialady.com/fishnews.
Oh, and Take Aquatic says they have lionfish in Connecticut too.
When a dog needs a loving home, take it to a shelter. But what do you do with a fish that's only into murder? Florida man will take the fish off your hands. Florida man, the one who understands. You gotta change your plan. Call Florida man, cigarette in hand. He's got a fish here, wonderland. Drive 300 miles to rescue a catfish. But he would rather help you get your own tank established. Florida man, 3,000 gallons in. He doesn't have unlimited space for fish. Florida man got a net in his hand. Florida man and Father Fish is also there. Who's gonna step step up and help Florida man now. We need a rescue to rescue Florida fish rescue. Florida man needs a helping hand. There's a change in plans for his fishy wonderland. Florida man digging in the sand. Florida man is reaching out to the fishy fam. Florida man will take the fish off your hands. Florida man, the one who understands. Florida man needs a helping hand. There's a change in plans for his fishy wonderland. And he'll even take your goddamn feet to goldfish.
Good morning, John the Fisherman.
Morning, John.
That was awesome. It would have been fun if we could just sing along with it.
I don't think we would have did as good.
We could have killed it, really. But you want to sing along. So, I love to sing the Stevens songs. They're fun. And, you know, for regular music, I can't understand the words when I hear it on radios and stuff. If I see somebody sing, of course, we played this one a lot too.
Mm.
Now, especially like it when the captions are coming underneath. Maybe I know what they're, it's actually being said.
Do a little karaoke.
For some reason. Well, and Danny's too. I can understand them.
Yeah, I mean, for those like the parody songs, and this is the lyrics are like kind of important, so I'm sure we both like make sure that they're very understandable.
Now,
Yeah.
when Jess is doing this, and of course she mutes us out. I'm over here, I'm dancing. And if she ever puts me on the camera, you'll tell them Joker will sing. Because I'm expecting to be muted and the camera off. She could bust me really easy.
So, Skipper, whenever you like share your window, do you check the box that says share audio as well?
Yeah,
Because it sounds like it's coming from your speakers through the microphone. Like
did
it's a
do it
little-
again. Whoops.
I was curious if it was like just an issue or
I didn't
if it was,
do that again. I keep
No.
forgetting that part.
Oh, okay.
But I'll make sure with the ALEC report that I hit that box.
Hit that box. Morning show. Morning show.
Morning show.
Do y'all remember the show, The Grand Ole Opry?
Yep.
When they would come in and they would do, and now a word from our sponsor, and they would do a hands-on advertisement like from Denture Cream or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But now, guess what y'all are getting? Y'all are going to get a on the site commercial, and I'm going to do one for Joe's Shrimp Shack. Let's have a Joe's Shrimp Shack. You can get some mineral balance. This will help planted tanks with shrimp, and it is for your KH and GH. You can get that at your Joe's Shrimp Shack website.
You want to show it to the camera better? Oh, okay.
Okay? I got all this when I ordered shrimp. And also, because I don't know what I'm doing, I got a bottle of this GH conditioner.
Cool.
And also, for your shrimpy needs, there's some mineral balance for your Carolina shrimp.
Mineral balance. Nice.
And then, just because the little creatures might need something to eat every once in a while, get you some shrimp corn with bug bites.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I've actually fed it once. And just because Joe is such a nice person, he sent me a free piece of wood because
Heard you like his wood.
So there's your throwback from the 60s commercial.
Yeah.
Now that's certainly not the biggest wood he's got over there.
No, and I'm sure it's not the best piece of wood that he's got there, but it's still a piece of wood and it's mighty fine. But I thought it was funny to have that little note in the box.
Yeah.
Do we have a real commercial from Joe that we can pull?
I bet we do.
I didn't pull one up this morning. I was trying to catch up with the other stuff.
But, yeah, and also don't forget you get a discount up to 4 hours after TAMS. The morning show is over to use that discount code, and which I did use my discount code, and it's $78. You know, it's half the shipping. Every little bit helps. Take advantage of it.
Yep.
And I hope that I hope this will be what I need this time to really get my shrimp tanks better from the start. The other shrimp tanks was a slow process, and I finally got it, but it took a long time. And I lost shrimp in the process. So hopefully this makes it nicer for a new shrimp tank from the start.
I got I've got his commercial pulled up if you'd like me to play it now.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Sure.
Dude, did you see the size of Joel's shrimp?
No, I didn't. Were they, good size? Come on, tell me.
Dude, there's one now. Take a look. Quick, quick.
Whoa. Whoa. Holy.
Oh, and that picture reminded me. Stephen, I always thought that picture on Rico's community of membership string was you. I swear.
With the ginger beard?
Yeah. Are y'all related? We don't know it.
He says that his one of his sons, I think his youngest, looks a lot like me.
That was just so uncanny. But and now it's been out for what, a month, and I just found out the other day on stream. The whole time I was just believing it. And I just thought, well, that's cool because you know y'all had that rivalry thing going on. I thought, oh, they just played at each other. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was actually him with a shorter, less gray beard.
I was going to try to bring up a video, but I don't know how to bring up my own video.
Go ahead and might as well go ahead and do the ALEC report.
Absolutely. And we need to go to 11 minutes and 35 seconds to pick up where we left off.
Okay.
Which one was it?
Number 27.
Yeah.
11:27.
No, it's number 27. It's 11 minutes into the video, right?
Yeah, 11 minutes, 35
Yeah.
seconds.
And don't forget to click share audio.
Yeah.
Still searching for it?
No, I got it. I was setting the timestamp you said.
Rico finally got his butt up out the bed.
Didn't do it. As soon as I clicked it, I was like, you did not hit that button. Here we go.
Right.
That's it for today. Talk to you next time.
Your YouTube. Oh, there you go.
Aquarium. Back to you, yes. Bye. Hey guys, it's me again, Alexander Williamson, with the Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, and I wanted to touch back on what we just talked about, which was the smuggling of killifish out of South America. I did some more digging after the story broke about this one specific ring of 80 people that they busted. We just talked about that in the last video. So I wanted to know what's going on with this, and I did some digging, and I actually found some interesting articles, most of them in Portuguese because they came out of either Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. So what I found interesting is that down there in South America, they have quite a few protected species of killifish, and locally they call them rivulets. And they're taken from their natural habitat in Brazil or, wherever it may be, Venezuela, the Pantanal. And in multiple aquariums, they put them in containers and they put them all in a row and they basically get them to lay eggs. And when they're laying eggs, because the fact that they're killifish, they can be shipped internationally in peat moss dry. I mean, that's kind of the point of how killifish reproduce, is they either come to land or in a bog, they come to a peat moss or to an area that's going to dry out. They lay their eggs, the eggs dry out and get a case around them of a lipid layer, and then the eggs, anywhere from 3 weeks to several years in some cases, will hatch when the conditions are right, when water is reintroduced. It kind of makes them the perfect target for poaching, however. And on one hand, I wonder, and I want your opinions on if poaching these fish, if they were to just be catching some, having them lay eggs, and maybe they're throwing them back, is that such a bad thing? Or better yet, if they're already in captivity and you're breeding them and they're not allowed to be sold, is that a bad thing? Kind of like ivory. Since it's already on the market in many places from old historic heirlooms, many people say it should be allowed to be sold. But other people will say that ivory should not be sold because it encourages that illegal trade and it allows people to hide newly acquired ivory from slaughtered elephants and rhinos and say it's old. And even though, that scarcity factor is going on, sometimes that drives the price even higher. And the fact that the animals are endangered, the more they kill, the higher the price goes. So it's kind of a sad circle that keeps going. So I was curious about who is it that's buying these killifish? I can see that there's a big American market, but where are they going around the world? Who are the countries that are buying these fish? Because quite frankly, the Western world, it seems to me to be the only ones that would be able to afford this expensive fish thing. However, as I noted in the last video, these killifish are actually not sold for a whole lot of money. A lot of times the eggs are sold for $1 or $2 a piece US. And if they're hatched full grown, which sometimes what they'll do is they'll even just bring in the eggs by passengers on planes, they'll have them go to a stash house basically, and they'll have a fish room. They'll hatch the eggs, they'll grow out the fish, and then they'll sell them for the biggest profit. Once they're fully grown, they'll forge import papers or whatever and sell them to stores, or they'll just work through social media. So beware of that. But turns out that they're going to countries, not all of which I would suspect. So in the papers that I was reading most recently, it looks like China is number one after the US, then Russia, Argentina, Germany, the United Kingdom, and then Japan. These killifish eggs, like I said, can withstand long periods of dehydration, and they can even go on slow boats to these countries. They don't have to go on passengers. And that really works to the advantage of the smugglers, who include false sender information and false dead drop pickups, almost like a spy novel. So back in 2019, Brazilian police agents were working with the nation's environmental agency called Instituto Brasileiro de Meio Ambiente dos Naturales Renováveis. Probably butchered that. But they found 32 packages containing killifish eggs without any proper export licenses at the Guarulhos airport in Sao Paulo. Now, not just that package, but between January and April of 2019, they found 32 others. And in 2019, in the summer, they found that in Brazil's city of Belo Horizonte, located in the eastern state of Minas Gerais, that there was actually a professor at a university and a guy working for that long-named thing that I tried to remember and probably messed up, the Brazilian Environmental Agency. And he worked in tandem with the customs agent guys to smuggle these fish out and their eggs. So people working for the government and the universities and the programs that are supposed to be collecting information to save and protect these fish have now been implicated officially on the record, which, just so you know, in Brazil, that's actually quite a feat. It means it's probably quite the problem, or somebody didn't have any friends in high places, they had enemies in high places. But otherwise, I mean, these things don't get uncovered publicly very often, especially not over $5 to $15 fish. And so that's what's really weird about this whole killifish exporting thing. It's just the fact that they're so darn easy to export, with the eggs being the way they are, that it keeps happening. But I found it interesting that the countries they were going to, and it means that places like China, obviously, and Russia have a large population of people that are able to buy these fish. I assumed that the United States, being number one, has the largest population. But what I'm really curious is if people even know that they are buying these fish illegally, if it's such a niche fish that it's obvious, like an arowana or something like that, or if because they're killifish and they're commanding such a low price, really they're just cutting out the middlemen and doing it themselves, a few groups of people. And the fact that they're endangered almost becomes negligible to the economy of it happening, but it becomes obviously important when you think about the resource of these fish long term. There's only so many. So just wanted to give you guys a little more info on what's going on in terms of smuggling. It seems like Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, Brazil, are really the regional hubs of these killifish being smuggled and their eggs. So keep an eye out for any stories on that, and I'd like to hear your opinion on what we should do about this. I mean, do we ban these species even in all countries around the world? Do we allow them in their native country? Do we allow only certified eggs, kind of like arowanas? And if so, I mean, that's an expensive process. Someone has to come and oversee that process. So I'd like to hear how you think we could work this out in an affordable way, or if maybe we should just stop having anything to do with these fish in our hobby. Thanks for listening. This has been The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium with Alex Williamson on the Aquatic Morning Show. Back to you, Jess, Rocco, Rico, Stan, whoever's there this morning, Skipper. I hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right.
Pretty interesting.
So someone, let's see, Texas Fish was saying that it's only annual killifish work like that. I guess he's talking about the dry eggs that can be shipped like that.
They're making a killing doing it illegally.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal of, other than breeding, like the appeal of the annual killies. Like, I don't like when fish die, so I don't want to see them just kill over every other season, you know.
Yeah.
Morning, Lefty.
You want to cause a terror.
Snow day for Lefty.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, Lefty, would you like to come up? I just sent you the link.
If he doesn't have it, I can send it to his. I can send him a message if he wants to come up.
Rico stands singing "Say My Name."
Let's see what makes it.
Say my name, say my name.
Yeah, I don't have any killifish, and I don't even know what a good quality killifish is. I see them every once in a while at the fish store.
My fish store, they'll have clown killies, and they will have the lamp eyes.
I think I did get some lamp pies one time. I didn't
Lamp eyes are So
He is currently stuffing his face.
But that lamp pie did sound familiar. Oh, good morning, Eric White Rock. How are you this morning? Oh, he's so empty stuff in his face.
morning.
But,
Yeah, the lamp eyes, they look good, but like I feel like the blue eyes from Pseudomygills are even better.
they are. I've seen those, but I guess I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that was not a rainbow fish. Which I just didn't know what they were.
Mhm.
I saw it in a video or something.
You can call them whatever you want, Dee Dee. That's just the rainbow fish elitist deciding they're not going to call them rainbow fish anymore.
Oh, are those the ones that they said that they're not?
The Pseudomygills, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But they're pretty with the blue eyes.
Oh yeah.
And if Kelly Foreman were here, she could explain why again. She explained it before, but it's technical. It's something about their branch of genetics lineage.
Oh yeah, she's out there swimming with the pigs right now.
She is.
She could care less about what's going on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Might even be swimming for her life at the very moment. Who knows?
Swimming away from a pig trying to bite her.
Hey, good morning, Ryan. PNW Aqua.
Ryan, good to see you.
There's a lot of killifish I didn't even know existed, and at the Keystone Clash last year, I couldn't believe the amount of killifish people put in the show. I didn't realize there was a bunch of them like that.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole of killies, but I'm sure it'll happen one day as I move around species.
That's the ones that Jess is trying to get started, isn't it?
Yeah. I think she has some eggs. I'm not sure where she's at with the killies.
Yes, she.
Morning, Mike.
Mike, you're in the house. I guess he woke up from his little nap. It could be John the fisherman. I don't remember if I spoke to you or not. Good morning. Jennifer Weaver says they're Achilles on all continents except Antarctica. And they're some sort of have colors that rival saltwater fish.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the Golden Wonder and the Clown? And there's a few other ones that look pretty amazing.
The blue, Jess was the blue Galaris, right?
I think so.
Boy, that ones are pretty.
Yeah, they are.
But so are them Pseudomygills. And I mean, the Pseudomygills, they don't live long either, but I need to start breeding mine.
Good morning, Alishon. How are you? Well, Stephen, how is your new fish rack going since y'all expanded?
Well, I've got the 29 set up with the Adelphoid Cories. They're still kind of young, but I'm just keeping them happy with lots of food and catappa leaves and alder combs and plants and all that stuff. Just letting things kind of naturally take their course. And then one shelf has a couple of betta tanks, and then the rest of the shelves have junk that I need to organize and consolidate so that I can put more tanks. Because that was like one of the first things I did was like pile crap on the shelves, because when you've got new shelves, what do you do with them? You put stuff on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to get a little more organized with that and organize my plug cords a little better. And then I have this empty 40 breeder that I think I'm just going to start a plant farm with and do like a layered substrate of different things. And I'm sure I'll stock it with something. eventually.
Yeah, and I don't care what fishing you go to, everybody has bottles and jars and tools.
Just stuff. Yeah.
And you have to have it nearby. You can't pack it away. You have to have it where you can use it.
Right.
Day, nets.
I just have to organize by like what I use once a month versus what I haven't used in quite a while versus the stuff I use on nearly a daily basis, and put the stuff up high. And yeah,
I've seen some people hang nets on the walls, which I don't want to do that, but
I could hang them
to
from
the
the
front of
outside
the
of the
aquarium
rack.
or something. But
Yeah.
What do you call that little suction cup? 'Cause I couldn't reach them most of them behind the tanks. Too short. I made my tanks look kind of high because I wanted to be able to sit in a chair and look at most of them from eye level, like a TV.
I bought so many nets now because I lose them temporarily. I've got, I have tanks all over the house. I mean, I have the fish room, but then I've got a tank, one tank in each of the kids' rooms, a couple of tanks in the bedroom, living room. So I bring tools and nets to various rooms, and I leave them there because that's just what I do.
Well, I went and got some of those buckets from the dollar store. They're 2.5 gallon, maybe 3 gallon size with little handles. And you can throw everything in that bucket and move around.
Yeah, buckets are good.
And I stacked the buckets up. They're not very tall, so they stacked up. And then I always keep the top one full of stuff that power head or this or that, with scrubby. The thing I put over the water when I'm pulling the water out the intake. When you're doing the drain, put that sponge so that babies or whatever don't go up in the tube.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff in there. And good morning, Miss Charity Mercer. How are you doing this morning?
Morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button and support the stream. Thank you. Yep. Smash the like for Jess.
How do y'all treat your siphon drain tubes to clean them if you have, like I had this problem in my tank? How would you clean it? Sure.
I don't unless I'm using it on a sick tank.
I had a sick tank, so now what do I do?
So what I've done is a 1 to 20 bleach to water ratio. Like you can fill a bathtub with water and with a little bit of bleach, and then I just do a siphon loop of the tubing. So it's like siphoning from the tub into the tub.
Okay,
it's easier if you've got a pump, but yeah.
But I use a power head, push the water faster. So would I put that power head in that same water too?
Yeah, it'd be faster, easier to get the siphon going. Or you can just kind of soak it in there, but I like to just have water moving through it constantly, the same bleach water.
Well,
And do that.
Put it in a big old, I've got this 20-gallon tubs. Just fill it up with the water and you just let it run amongst itself.
Mm-hmm.
For,
5
minutes or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, just run some diluted bleach in through the tubing for a little while. And I can't say scientifically that that's the way to do it, but I haven't done any cross contamination that way, so it's worked. Especially whenever I've taken my siphon over to my mother-in-law's house when she's had issues, and I've done a bunch of water changes, and so I definitely don't want any of that from another fish room going into mine.
Well,
can we talk about
points? Last night.
Oh, one of the ones I sent you?
The very first ones that I've got from you.
Oh, what happened?
Fat booger too. This Epistolus stuff and this medication.
Oh, yeah.
This was day 5 of the Embarrassing. And I hung in there all the time, because those are some of the ones I kept my eye on, like the little red lizard tail thing, and then there's 2 plecos. And rainbow fish, which I've done really good as far as once I realized I had a problem. I've only lost 3 more fish during this treatment. And you see the bubbles?
Yeah.
I'm treating this tank and that tank right beside it with the same stuff. That tank there has no bubbles.
So usually the foaminess is like some kind of protein film on the top. Do you feed the tanks different things?
Nope.
Weird. I stopped feeding freeze dried bloodworms because it would like it's like very greasy almost as bloodworms, and they will
And the
make the
only thing
foamy
is
top.
my canister filter, the thing that brings the water back in the tank, it's having to drop like that far before it hits the water since I drained it down.
Right.
I don't know if that's causing, the extra agitation.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I know in a video, Corey had said he could look across his room and see which tanks had medication in them because he could tell by the bubbles. But it's like, well, how come I can't see any bubbles in that one? And I've got so much aeration in that one that the water's rocking on the top. But it's not doing anything. And I'm dosing by the gallons the same way I do this one. It's just very strange. So I'm thinking, I know it's in the same bottle, so I know it can't, like I got a bad bottle or something. But hopefully I'm going to, I have what I thought was that stylus Skipper had. But hopefully I'm happy with it, I don't know. So I'm going to do some water changes and start filling the tank. All my plants are in a bucket with the CO2 running, lights. So I got to clean those. How would you clean those?
The buckets.
The plants. But I need to clean plants for.
I mean,
it
I
doesn't
wouldn't.
seem like that would be a problem based on what I've learned. I don't know if I've learned it from the correct sources. But.
I mean, if you're talking about moving a plant from a sick tank to a well tank, I wouldn't do that. But the plants that are still in there in the sick tank, I would just leave them in there for a while.
I pulled all the plants out.
Oh, okay.
One of the treatments was to get the mold and stuff off.
Mm.
So I stripped the tank down to the substrate and drained that halfway. So I have to dose 90 gallons of water.
See, I don't know. I've never done a plant treatment other than to get rid of algae, like with like a brief peroxide dip. I know you can do a bleach dip, but like a super diluted bleach dip, and don't even know what the ratio is supposed to be. So I would look that up. You can do peroxide dips. I don't know if that is actually gonna do anything to disinfect the whatever might be on the plants. So yeah, I would do some.
I don't think that that's going to be a problem with the plants, but since I'm putting it back in the tank, I just wanted to be extra cautious. But I like the idea of the peroxide.
So Lefty was asking what bloodworms I used, and I did have Hikari for a little while, and I did notice that it's not as nasty as I think the one that was the most egregious in terms of like leaving a film and causing like protein foam was the Omega brand of the freeze-dried bloodworms. So yeah, but I always have frozen bloodworms, so I don't use a lot of freeze-dried worms at all, other than the tube effects.
And do we have 3G in here?
Do we?
I don't know. I just saw a comment, welcome to membership, but I'm not seeing anything. Did y'all see something?
Let me
Good
look.
morning, Kyle. Kyle's in here.
Yeah, Kyle heard his favorite word.
Yeah.
So
He just has to read it.
3G did his
Yeah.
free membership super chat saying thanks, Dee Dee, Skipper, and Steven.
Okay.
Oh,
For some reason, I can't see it.
It is wow. It's a lot. Boy, this is
And we
good.
have the doctor in the house from the Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes.
good morning.
Sir.
Somebody call a doctor.
GRB asking how long I've been keeping fish, and I guess about 2.5 years. Like 2.5 years getting back into the hobby seriously. Before that, I had some stints where I kept fish, didn't really know what I was doing, but somehow they lived. So, yeah.
We might as well go ahead and go over the events. It's 11:40,
Yep.
10:40 for Stephen P. and Jess. So, y'all already did the Aquafest. What was that over the weekend? And now on January 23rd, the GCCA is having a tropical fish swap meet with a $5 admission. It is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then in Irving, Texas, sponsored by the Dallas Fort Worth Aquarium Association, they're having a swap also. It's on February 5th, and I couldn't find no times on that. I will find the website and I will try to get you the times. February 26th, 27th, it'll be here before you know it. Aquashella, Orlando. Going to be quite a few people going to that. Then on April 24th, GCA is going to have another tropical fish swap meet from 10 to 2. Same place in Illinois, Northbrook. There's also a tropical fish swap of Michigan. It is in Sterling Heights, Michigan, on March 6th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. They have live plants, all types of fish, and dry goods. Seems like it's a good place to live in Illinois because
Yeah, really.
another fish swap on March 6th at the Northbrook, Illinois. Also, they have a speaker, Mr. Dave from davesfish.com, talking about those two fish.
Cyprochromis and Paracyprochromis.
There you go, on March 13th. Then I need to, whenever I go to work tomorrow, I need to get this day off because I'm going to it. It's from the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. It's the Freshwater Swap. All they're going to have is fish, animals and pets only, no equipment, no marine livestock, no saltwater fish. It is on the 26th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at that fish place. And there's the address if you need to know where that is in Lancaster, PA. April 2nd and 3rd in Atlanta, Georgia, you got the Aquatic Expo. We'll have to look that up and see if they have a location yet. Reef Palooza in Orlando, April 23rd to the 24th. This is saltwater for all you saltwater people out there. It's at the Cab Royale in Orlando. Aquaticon in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is one Fish Room Fever is helping out with his local fish store. And the name of that place is, I'm drawing a blank. It's on April 30th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And they actually have a expo center that they're going to be at. Another Reefpalooza in June 25th to the 26th in New York. I haven't posted no times yet. One of the biggest shows that a lot of fish fam are going to is the Triple Crown in Louisville, Kentucky. January 27th to the 31st. It's going to be a big one. Also, Aquashella, Dallas, August 6th and 7th. Y'all going to be sweating your butts off when you go there. It's going to be hot.
Stay indoors, yep.
You don't want to be picnicking out in the parking lot on that one. You might, unless you want to cook your food on the blacktop. Another Reefpalooza in California. That one's at the Hilton Anaheim, which is in Anaheim, California, August 13th to the 14th. This is a MACNA, the Marine Aquarium Conference of North America, they didn't post a place where they're having it, but they're having a conference on September 9th to the 11th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. DCA is having another tropical fish swap meet September 18th, Northbrook, Illinois, from 10 to 2. Then we have the Keystone Clash, and another big event that people's going to be going to in Morgantown, PA, from September 23rd to the 25th. Then you have the AGA, the Aquatic Gardens Association is throwing a convention from September 29th to October 2nd in Chicago, Illinois. And then you have the All Aquarium Catfish Convention on October 7th and 9th in Herndon, Virginia. If you really love catfish, that'd be a good one to go to. Aquashella, Chicago, October 8th and October 9th. I don't. The venue was not picked yet for that one either. Then you got Reef Palooza, October 8th and 9th at the same time. This is in Dallas, Texas. So that one won't be as hot for the saltwater fish people. October 30th, GCCA is having another tropical fish swap from 10 to 2. Then they're having one in December also, on December 4th. I do believe that's it. Yep. Not too many people are having, seems like anything in the month of November and December. It's hard to find it.
Well, they've been probably not having a very good turnout with all the family holidays. But Michael there says the MASI meeting is online tonight at 7:30 Central. And I also, yes, and Primetime Aquatics does go to a lot of those Illinois ones because Terry Tropical Tanks has managed to buy fish from them several times.
I'm gonna have to remember that. I have that. I'm trying to find their YouTube channel.
That convention is in Tulsa, Oklahoma this year. It's something we need to check. And one thing we did not mention because we don't have a poster yet, and that's Fishtoberfest in Portland for the same weekend as the Aquashella Chicago. So if y'all have any information about anything, send Jess an email at the TAM's email address.
Yeah.
Posted.
And if there's a flyer for it, you can email to her.
Good morning, Kate Henshaw. Thank you for putting that in there.
So I just missed something in chat. What happened with Daniel Velez?
I saw something about planes, radios. I missed.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the plane talk. That's just
it's people messing with
Troll and Bex.
Yeah.
Good morning, Whippersnapper. Which world is here? Right there. Did I put your post up on the screen earlier about the? Yes, I did.
Oh.
I put it for the online meeting. I did mention that.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, he got planes and radios. Yeah, he got some stuff stolen. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, good, Daniel.
Well, that's not good. Cars. Oh. Oh, his 74 Challenger and 65 Mustang. Oh man. I mean, it's infuriating enough when anyone steals anything from you just to be stolen from, but those probably were near and dear cars.
Sounds like something that he probably rebuilt or he could have got from the family.
Yeah. And usually when somebody steals, they just sell everything at such a cheap price. It's basically just nothing. Pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
There's your link for that NASA channel tonight. Everybody's attend. I haven't attended any online.
They have good talks.
Miss Terry Lee Mercer, why is there a feeding fest going on every time I see you? They're guppies. And that's what guppies do. They eat and breed.
And do you have one of them little sticking?
I have
foods in there?
two. Yeah, there's a video of two O-nip tabs stuck to the glass, and they go nuts over it.
Wow. And yes, Paul Sotero, my plans are to go to the Flash. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I feel like I'm kind of going home.
Nice.
I will be visiting family at the same trip. So I'd like a homecoming.
That's
He's
good.
had his Challenger since 1981, and the Mustang was a retirement present, which he just retired.
From his wife. Yeah, there's big sentimental value with it.
And then people just think that people just don't care. Like, oh, nice cars. Let's tow them away. Let's part them out because they're not going to be able to drive them. They'll get identified. So.
And the same thing that happened to J-Rock when he went in the store and they cut off his Cadillac converter while he was in the store.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting to happen around here where they're breaking into these like mechanic yards and stuff. And they'll come back and there'll be like 8 or 9 cars ripped off of a Cadillac converter. Now that's a couple $1,000 by the time somebody gets it replaced on a $2,000 car.
Right.
Carried to the mechanic, I am from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, Alishon. Groundhog.
Oh, the Groundhog City.
It's a field. This is my buddy. I still have one batch of family up there. Everybody else is in North Carolina. But we had an aunt that married a former Marine. Of course, she moved back to his hometown when he got out of service. And that's why they're up there. And my daddy moved up there for a temporary time because there was a lot of work up there. And I just happened to be born in one of my brothers while they were there. Now everybody moved back after about 6-7 years, except for that one match. Well, Matt, if you were up early enough, you would know what we have here. The Three Stooges.
Mhm.
You're right.
Yeah,
Just
but
sick today.
speaking of that fella,
Yeah, that fella.
has a website, Fish Fam Link, and also on there for today, you will see your schedule.
And that would be on what website?
Some Fish Fam .link thing.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So today,
Must be a bloody smart fella that made that.
yeah, how about
The
it?
schedule.
The fish schedule for today at 1 p.m. Afternoon chat delight with Rico Stan. At 5 p.m. you got Pet Exotics or with Suzanne from SLC Aquatics. 6 p.m. Rocking the Coast if he's feeling up to it. 7 p.m. you got the Hot Mess Express with Foxy Fishes and the lovely Mary Page. 8 p.m. you got KG Tropicals. 9:30 the Fish Room Fever channel start up with Fish Room Fever with James and Ed. Then at 10:30 you got Craft with Ed, James and Rico. And then after that show you got Rico and the Man at 11:45. And that is it for
And
today.
usually that's Rico and the men because usually there's a bunch that come in there.
Yep. It's the Stay Awake Challenge.
Yep. Because you never know. And apparently Aquafunk is here to celebrate his birthday again today.
Wow.
Yeah,
Aquafunk
Jess
is
was not
old.
feeling well. So she was crazy enough to leave us alone with Buttons.
Don't think she's
And
watching. And whenever we're done, she's going to critique us.
I had not realized this because I've always just gone and pulled up the calendar and just maybe looked up a person. But I actually been on that website last night for Fish Fan Company, and he's doing a news thing on there too about things. And there was like a little feature thingy for degenerate fish keeper on it. Now it says there's one on there for Mike.
Yep. Fishy
that's
Wonderland is in trouble. Can you help? Yeah, we talked about Mike earlier this morning, and yeah, just devastating.
Funk will be live at 47 o'clock. I'm not even going to go there with your Rico comment, Matt. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, well, they're really giving it hard to Bex today.
Yeah.
They're loving and rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Which I missed that stream that brought all that about.
You can still go back and watch all 6 hours of it.
Yeah.
Wow. We've got tow trucks and everything to get these cars. But, you know, from that killing fish report that Alex did, who would have ever thought that you could have fish mules?
Yep. I mean, how do you think some of those invasives, like especially the illegal ones that they do that are highly invasive, people still bring them in?
We're getting close to the end of the show, but people don't forget to go into your comments on the videos and qualify. And also, membership levels have changed, so there's 3 levels. And now on any level membership, on membership day on Wednesday, anybody can come up as long as you're a member for the membership stream and come up on the panel. And it's a great way to work yourself in if you've never live streamed, or just to come up and talk instead of trying to do it, you know, a little chat thing where you say a few words and then you have to scroll back up and see what the person responded. It's a nice way to getting to know each other. So,
yeah, it's very laid back and less filtered, and it's and now you can now you can join for as low as $2.99 a month, right?
Yes. So, and she's constantly working on her perks. It's, this is all new for her, so she's just constantly thinking of something she can do, and she's probably open to suggestions too. So, if you got some ideas, let her know. Send her an email. That is how I got to know Jess at all. I watched the stream a while back, and something she said sparked it, so I sent her a whole page letter. And she responded back to me, and then I started watching the show every day because I kind of understood a little something. I don't remember now what it was. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
Still chasing the kangaroo this morning.
Still chasing kangaroo. Like there's a
horse.
Or is it an actual kangaroo?
I had no idea.
With Miss Holly, it could actually be. Matt has his little games. So now Kyle's feeling loved and blessed. So that's good to know.
So we got 1 minute left. I want to thank the mods that helped out in the chat. The sponsors, Joe Shrimp Shack and Stephen P. And also, we didn't mention the coffee mug sponsor, which is Dee Dee Findin. I can't show you a picture of it because I ain't got one.
Yeah, I was going to try to pull it up earlier, and for some reason I couldn't get it to come up big enough without showing off my home page. I just got handed some mail. So I'm sure. Oh.
But we're going to go out with a song here off of Shrimp.
Yeah. He said, I won something one day on one of the streams. So he sent me some stickers later. So that's nice. I gotta build my little thing for my stickers. I've been collecting them. And I plan to do me a fish cut out with wood and start gluing on or sticking on my stickers to that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Miss Holly said yes, actual kangaroos.
Uh-huh.
The neighbor has an exotic ranch. Another neighbor's dog chased some of them off, and they went over the fence. And it's cold there. And they need
Yes,
heat.
so they are. She has 3 tiers now. And she does realize,
Yeah.
it has to be that way sometimes. I have a budget.
Right. There's a lot of channels that we all want to support. We got to spread the love equally.
As I said, I would never do memberships. I'm not doing that. I'm giving them my watch time. And then lo and behold, when you and Rico hit the milestone, it's like, you know what? I think I'm going to, because that was fun with y'all competing,
Mm-hmm.
and I got caught up in that too. And then, bam, left me right back, bam, bam. And it was like 5, 6, 7 of you all at one time. It's like, well, why not for this person, So as long as my budget that I've got dedicated holds out, I'm in as much as I can. After
Right.
that, it's just watch hours. Not that I don't love you. It's fun being part of the membership too. Like you give us extra plant trimmings, which you just think they're trimmings, but to us they're like precious when we get them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm starting a 40-gallon plant farm really just for that purpose, so that I've got more trimmings to go around as I get more members.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's very nice of you to do that because you don't have to. You could be like Rico and just promise nothing and deliver nothing.
I hate throwing that stuff away. Like, you take a perfectly good top off of a stem plant, and like I can replant them until you reach a certain capacity, and then what am I going to do with them? Compost them?
Maybe sometimes maybe you could do a video or like when you do your member stream or something. Maybe actually take us on a trim with you.
Okay.
That would be interesting. Yes, I have plants, but I don't have that many that's like, you snip one. That's all I need to snip is one, here.
Right.
It'd be kind of interesting to watch.
All righty then.
So are we ready with our second song?
Yep. Here we go.
And thank you everybody for hanging in there with us. I know we're not Jeffs. We did the best we could. Hope we made her proud. And I appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate the mods. And there's Miss Chevy Fish popping in last moment, coming in the rear door, the back door, whatever. And thank you everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. And I got to get back to work. So, Skipper and Dee Dee, I'll see y'all later, too.
All right.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Appreciate it. And make that
Later.
Not that button. This button.
Got the body of a rainbow. Don't let take a picture, spin it all my dough. Got that Christmassy feeling. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. It's an unboxing. Need to get them over to my tank and better lighting. Cause I gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll. Out of all the rainbows are the hottest. Looking the way they gonna look when I see them grow. I can't wait for that color. Yeah, gonna go in my 90s, looking awesome and shiny. Now I got 'em over to my tank and better lighting. Cause I gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. I gotta get the B-roll. I gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll. Yeah, my 90's almost stocked up. Gonna get another type of rainbow in a little while. She's got my money declining. Yeah, it's always so exciting to do another unboxing. Then I got 'em over to the tank and better lighting. Cause I gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Cause I gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll. I'm trying to focus. Gotta get the B-roll. Gotta get the B-roll.